Hello everyone, Gary Lamassa here. This video provides a brief overview of the new features coming up in the 5.0 release of UNUM. This is a PowerPoint presentation. Other videos will follow with product demos of the features. In this release, we have 5 major features. Zero-touch switch provisioning has been streamlined and now includes an offline capability. We've included a new Fabric Health dashboard, which provides admins a one-page indicator of their Fabric health and status. Also, we've included another dashboard to help keep track of vPorts in a Fabric. If you're unfamiliar with vPorts, they're essentially a layer 2 endpoint, like a virtual machine port. Virtual Link Extension leverages VXLAN tunnels to create point-to-point port connections within a switch and across switch clusters. This is handy for lab automation. And lastly, we've added the capability to build out a VRF. This feature allows admins to create layer 3 virtual networks or overlays on the physical underlay network. Let's take a brief look at each of these features. With respect to our zero-touch switch provisioning capability, we've streamlined several windows and tabs into one pane. Now you can enter the required device information, select the version of NetVisor you wish to install on the switch, as well as select the activation key, all for multiple switches, all from one interface. Admins whose devices don't have internet capability can now download installation and activation files directly from the Pluribus Network's cloud to a local machine, and upload them through the drop-down menus. Another option, if both the switches and UNUM have internet connectivity, is that users can choose from a list of files automatically populated directly from the cloud. Both options still require a Pluribus Network's cloud account and the appropriate licenses. This is the new Fabric Health dashboard, or at least the top half. We built this with the intent that an administrator should be able to view overall Fabric health with a glance. As you can see, the dashboard provides a one-page summary of Fabric utilization, alarms, and global Fabric resources, as well as the top 5 interfaces by bandwidth utilization and congestion drops. Most of the widgets and numbers can be clicked on, and they will take you to a more detailed view of the feature in question. For example, I can see under the Global Fabric Resources widget in the middle right that there are 375 VXLAN network identifiers, or VNIs, in this Fabric. By clicking on the 375, I would be taken to the feature page, where I can see the full list of VNIs, as well as additional information. There's even more information in the bottom half of the dashboard, broken down into top 10 hardware categories. These widgets give us an indicator of virtual flows, MAC hardware, IPv4 routes, and host route table utilization by switch, letting the user know when she's close to running out of resources. Again, you can point and click on these tables, and you'll be taken to a page with more detailed information if you need it. The vPort dashboard is another recent addition to UNUM. Again, a vPort is simply a layer 2 entry point or MAC address for virtual entities such as a virtual machine interface or a virtual router interface. Indicators include vPorts by state and by type, top 10 VLANs, VXLANs, as well as the total active endpoints in the Fabric. A complete list of vPorts is displayed at the bottom with a variety of information, including the switch owner, MAC, Fabric ID, state, and other helpful bits of information. The interval on this dashboard can be adjusted and is searchable over a designated period of time, up to the full amount of data stored by UNUM. Virtual Link Extension is a new feature to UNUM, which enables users to create a virtual connection between ports, either in the same leaf or between leafs in different clusters. This requires the use of VXLAN tunnels between leafs, which are automatically created in Fabrics built by UNUM 5.0 and later. Now, you can still build these tunnels manually if you have an existing Fabric using point features, but that's deeper than we're going to go here. In the example on the left, I am creating a connection between port 56 on switch 1 and port 56 on switch 3. As you can see, I've entered a descriptive name as well as the switch and port info. I'll also need to assign a VLAN and VXLAN before saving the configuration. At this point, UNUM will build a link for us. Any traffic entering port 56 will be routed directly to the corresponding port on the other side. This is a handy tool for lab automation environments. Before I bring up our last feature, I wanted to briefly talk about overlays and underlays. Now, an underlay is simply a physical network, switches and leafs cabled up in a spine leaf topology in our case. An overlay is a virtual network or service built on top of a physical network/underlay. Overlays have their own independent VLANs and IP schema. Traffic is segregated within them unless you configure some entry points. Overlays enable multiple users to share the same physical network without impacting each other. Our last feature enables the creation of a layer 3 overlay called a VRF, or VRF, that resides on an existing physical topology. This is accomplished by virtualizing hardware routing capabilities, enables dedicated control and data planes for each independent VRF. VRFs can be created at the switch, cluster, and fabric-wide level. VRF creation is simple as providing a name, defining the scope, allocating gateways, and designating the VNet. If you're not familiar with the term, a VNet, or virtual network, is a logical partition of the Pluribus fabric and is used specifically for multi-tenancy and network segmentation. Now, the simplest thing to do is just leave the VNet ID blank. That way, the default VNet will be used. Click the Save button, and UNUM will do all the work, creating the VRF, reducing both complexity and manual configuration errors. Now, once you've created a VRF, you'll also need the capability to add subnets. This is done simply by entering the appropriate information into the subnet creation window, such as a name, the VXLAN ID, the subnet gateway, and the VRF the subnet belongs in. Click Save, and the subnet is added to your VRF. That's it, everyone. For more how-to videos and documentation, please refer to the resources section of the Pluribus Networks website. The QR code on the right will take you there. Thanks for watching.